If you don't mind, we'd like to switch to a few more personal questions to find out where Eliot Shapleigh is going from here. Karla?
Senator, what do you think that up to now has been your greatest accomplishment in the political arena?
Well, without question, my greatest, I don't know that I can take credit for it, but it's been my kids. So I want to say that. In terms of the political world, I divide that into El Paso, and then the state, and then perhaps at the other arenas, national, international. Here locally, it's a hard thing to say, but it's attitude. It's not the medical school. It's not a desal plant and what happened with Fort Bliss. It's not $1 billion of money to come make an infrastructure system that reflects our status as a great port. It's attitude. It's the attitude that you will look in your heart and be all that you can be as a student. It's you knowing that you're struggling through perhaps a time in your life where you've got 2 kids and you've got to work, but you're going to go get a master's in education someday to teach math, calculus. It's the idea that this community can be the best that it can be if each one of us is the best that each one of us can be. I think the politics of El Paso will be forever changed because of that. And really that relates way back into an earlier time of Unite El Paso, when a lot of us started asking a lot of questions. But the real stories of El Paso, the ganas, are from 85-year-old Esther Perez, who got back into politics when she came back from California when she was in her late 70s to be part of movements in El Paso. It's young people who got involved in the ASARCO issue because they didn't want to live in a community that had pollution in it and have their kids come up in that arena. That's the real contribution locally. It's one of attitude. It's we can change history and we will change history. And so I think locally that's hard to quantify. It's hard to say, but really it's the essence of the best thing that's happened here in this last generation of politics. And now when you read young people running for office, they want to be in public service. It's a high calling. They want to make a difference. It's not go and loot the treasury or go and, map my name on something. It's to do something that's better for the community. And I think that, really frankly, is a legacy that I would hope in some small way that my office contributed to making happen.
Very good, Senator. If hypothetically, let's say, you could go back to the Senate for maybe a month, what would you focus your effort in that only month that you would have there?
I would change early childhood education in Texas. You can't do it as a senator. You have to do it as a governor. You have to run on that issue. And you have to make the connection between jobs and education and today and tomorrow. It's a hard case to make. It's much easier to take an immediate emergency like a hurricane or border security and, well, I'm protecting everybody from this and that, and run campaigns based on fear. I would want to come and run a campaign based on hope, and hope in education and our children being able to be the best that they could be because of the education that they got. And where we are failing is in early childhood education in the Hispanic cohort. Frankly, it's defining our future. That's what I'd change.
Very good, Senator.
We were also wondering what new challenges you may be taking on now that you've finished your tenure in the Senate, what you may be looking forward to.
The first new challenge was trying to get prepared to answer these questions because you guys had some very good questions. The second is I purposely wanted to stop and evaluate what I was doing, take stock. I think it's good when people do that because you see what you've done well, you see where maybe your critics have been right, you got to change a few things, and you see what your own best potential opportunity is. So I've done that. In the last couple months, I took up painting. I've always wanted to paint. I've never done it. I am terrible at it, and I certainly wouldn't recommend that anyone actually look at the stuff that I'm painting. But it's so much fun, and I love doing it. And we built a giant garden right next to our kitchen so that we could have fresh food. I think that's one of the things that is good about living in El Paso, that you can actually grow your own salsa and have it right next to your house. So I've been doing that. But on purpose, I want to take a step back and then insert myself in for my own highest and best use, and that of my family. Whenever you do something, you do it as a team. I have a beautiful wife who has been so supportive of anything that that we want to get into to do. And so we've looked at different opportunities of things that we could do and do it as a team and make happen. I don't want to elaborate much more on that because I really haven't decided which of those to pursue in a really effective way. Of those 4 or 5 theme areas, 2 are here in El Paso, and frankly the 2 that I'm most excited about are here in El Paso. So we'll see what works.
Wonderful. Senator, it's been really a great pleasure to have talked to you today. I cannot believe the breadth and depth of your perspectives. You provided so much insight across just a whole plethora of different issue areas, and I think it's so informative, and it'll be a great resource for students and just the public at large to access the site. And by the way, if I could make a little pitch about where this interview can be accessed, it'll be linked to the Northwest Campus Library, and it'll eventually be placed on YouTube. And there as well, on the library site, you can find the Borderlands project, where they highlight and feature a history of El Paso and notable figures that have been crucial and important to that history. And I think that we're going to be adding a lot of this information onto that site to make it even more accessible to all of the folks that are interested in these current issues and historical issues. And we certainly cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today and answer all these, as I told you at the outset, tough questions that students have that I face every week as a professor. I truly appreciate your efforts, sir.
Well, I appreciate you guys so much doing this. This is a fantastic, in-depth interview, but more using the institution of the community college to understand and elaborate our history and have the students see every side of an issue, whether it's my side, what DeMargo is saying, what former Mayor Caballero is saying, what John Cornyn's saying, what Jose Rodriguez is saying, what Moreno Escobar is saying. I think that's the way students learn, is they can pretty quickly ferret out who's doesn't have a real answer here and who's really thought about it and who doesn't, and then make the decision for themselves. And I think that's the essence of what you're doing here, and I congratulate you on a job well done.
And I want to thank Kim and Karla for having put in a lot of work and effort into investigating your papers, and I think they really learned a lot from the experience, and I think we all gained a tremendous amount from it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Senator.
Congratulations
Thank you,
to you all. Thank you.